Okay, now let's talk about Tesla Model 3's center console. This is the main control for the whole car. So if you see here, this half of the portion on this side is the driver's portion, where while driver is driving the car, he has to pay attention to how much speed they're going, and there are other options for the car. So one option here is to open the trunk, and we can also open the trunk from here by just clicking them one and open the trunk. Also we can open the charge port. I'll show you the charge port later on. There are few more options here. By clicking on this, we can switch on the backup camera, and we can leave that screen, backup camera screen, running all the way while we are driving the car. There are other options like we can check how much charging is available for the car, and you can see here I can drive 77 miles with the current charging, and this shows the battery. On Tesla Model 3 or all Teslas, basically floor itself is the battery. This whole floor is the battery. Let me show you this option here. So we are looking at Tesla Model 3. Let me close this. So we are in a Tesla Model 3. It is a long range battery with dual motors. There are two motors, one in front and one in back. The front wheels are controlled by the front motor, and the independently back wheels are controlled by the back motor. We have driven this many miles so far. This is the VIN number, and this is the software version currently running on this Tesla. So few more things here to check is the windshield wipers can be switched on by clicking on this. Right now it is set to automatic, or we can manually set them to start. And the front trunk is open, so it cannot switch on the wipers right now. So I'll just switch off the wipers, but it is pretty much here where we can set up it as a automatic wiping. Okay. So there is one option here to pull this to the side, and we can see how much we drove since we last charged the car. There is trip 1 and trip 2, or trip A and B, and the odometer is displayed right there. This is where the odometer setting is. When we are driving the car, this is where it shows up how much fast we are going right now, and if it is parked or in the drive mode or the reverse mode. The other settings are displayed here. Battery for a quick view is visible here, and how many miles we can drive is visible here. So the current time, temperature outside, and there are other settings on the top. This screen is used as GPS. If you want to navigate, we can just say navigate to that location, and it will start using Google Maps. It will start navigating. So let me show you other options. We can go to this settings here, and this is where all the car related settings are. Like say if we go to lights, you can see the lights are set to auto. When outside becomes dark, it automatically switches on the lights. And front fog is also automatically on. The dome lights, which are the internal car lights, are also set to automatic. There is a auto high beam. It can automatically detect when high beam is required, and it will automatically switch on the high beam and switch off the high beam when not required. Also there are other settings like steering wheel lights on, off, and off. So the second option is locks. How to lock and unlock the car. We can set up to lock and unlock using the key card or the phone. So we can look at the display. This particular display, We can leave it at auto and it will automatically adjust the brightness. When it is too bright outside, it will adjust it accordingly. And there are other options here which show like whether we want to show the time in a 12-hour format or a 24-hour format, temperature in centigrade or Fahrenheit, and the distance is in kilometers or miles. Those settings are available here. Let's look at the driving options. There are a couple of driving options: steering wheel mode, comfort mode, standard mode, or sports mode, and then regenerative braking, and that's how all electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles basically charge themselves, and that's set to standard or low. And there are other options like creep and slip start. These are mostly for, like, when car is stuck in a mud or something, we can use the slip start. Autopilot mode, this has a couple of options here. These options don't make sense. We'll just look at the autopilot while driving. I'll record another video for that. For navigation, we can set up some stuff like, say, how much, whether to avoid the ferries, avoid the tolls, and stuff like that. So there is also a control for opening the glove box. I'll show you the glove box setting later. Let's move on to the music. And when we click on this music icon, the music pops out. And what we can see here is we can have the regular radio. Let me decrease the volume. So this is the radio, and we can also have the streaming services because Tesla has LTE inbuilt, or this is the 4G. We can have the streaming services, and from online radio, online streaming services, we can listen to the music. We can have our phone connected using Bluetooth, so we can listen to music from the phone. Or there are other options like TuneIn, which are also like podcasts we can listen to. There is a USB option, and we can put some songs on MP3 songs on the USB, and it will be able to play those songs too. So let me get rid of the music option. There are a couple of other options here, like, say, calendar. If we sync our phone, we can get the calendar synced up. It's a Google Calendar. Then there are some energy settings. You can see how we are consuming energy. The camera, I was talking about the backup camera. Let me show you heating options. So let's talk about the heating options. By clicking on this, we can bring up the heating, and you can see now the heating has started. You can feel a little bit of fan speed. I will turn to the seat heating, and you can see these are the seat heating options. All seats can be heated, and I can click on whichever seats we want to heat, and we can also change the settings on how much heat should be generated, like low, high, or medium. And we can also switch all of them on, or we can switch off all of them. So that's for the seat heating option. And for the fan option, this is pretty cool. So what happens with the fan is you can adjust a couple of things here. One is you can adjust both driver side and the passenger side, but I'll show you the passenger side. I'm going to look at that. That's how the airflow is right now. You can see the air is flowing upwards. I can adjust the flow direction by touching and changing the direction. And you can see that's how it changes the airflow. Or you can adjust it to flow directly onto the face, like from the middle, or you want to spread it across left and right, and you can adjust those settings too. And you can do the same thing for the driver's side. You can leave it to automatic, and it will maintain whatever the temperature you have set. It will automatically maintain that temperature, or you can completely switch it off. Right now fan is off, so you can feel the difference of how much quiet it is. There are some more options, like you can switch on the AC or the defogger, and this is the back windshield defogging option. There is a volume control over there. With the GPS is pretty much built on Google Maps. So you have all the options like Google has. So one is you can switch to the satellite map while driving, or you can just leave it with the regular map. You can turn on the traffic. So because it has the 4G LTE, it can bring the traffic information. Like you can see these roads are like red. That means there is a lot of traffic on that road. Um, and you can zoom, unzoom. It's pretty much whatever you can do with the Google Maps. Okay, that's it about the center console, and this is the main screen. We have to use the screen for a lot of different things, and this is our main control panel.